Today we're taking a look at C5 Corvette wheel fitment, but this is not going to be your typical fitment guide, so drop the New Balances and jean shorts at the door. This is for those who dig JDM styling. After all, the C5 is basically an RX-7 that comes with the right motor. Yes, I said it. So if you're looking to pull the chair out at Cars and Coffee and sit there talking about your one-of-one built on a Thursday, this guide is not for you. On the flip side, if you like sleepy eye mods, stretch tires, and aggressive fitment, keep watching because you are in the right place to make your C5 look actually cool. This guide is specifically for the 5th generation Corvette, model years 1997 to 2004, including all body styles, coupe, convertible, and FRC. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the Z06, but we'll get to that. We're going to start with the basics, assuming you are just getting into the Corvette world. Along with wheel and tire specs, we are also going to talk about wide versus narrow body vehicles. Remember how I said Z06? Well, there you go. Plus, discuss different suspension options. Yes, there is a lot of nuance to this platform if you are coming from a different scene. So, we're going to start with the basics, as always. This one has a 5-on-120.65 bolt pattern, or 5x4.75 you may see it online. M12x1.5 lug nut thread, a center bore of 70.3 millimeters, and lug nut torque of 100 foot-pounds. The 5x120.65 lug pattern is peculiar, and unfortunately, it rules out a lot of wheels. But on the bright side, we can fix this. First, the lug pattern is very close to 5x120, not exact. Can you run 5x120 wheels on your C5 Vette? If you're my buddy and I'm talking to you at a car meet, yes. If I am the guy from the wheel company, no. So it comes down to what you can do versus what you should do. You'll find plenty of cases of people running wobble lug nuts or just running 5x120 wheels on their Vette. It theoretically works. It feels a little bit dirty. You probably shouldn't do it if you make 1100 wheel horsepower. One option is converting the PCD. You can always convert to 5x114.3 and it opens the door to a ton of wheel options, including, but not limited to, all of the JDM wheels that you probably know that our company exists for. You have two options. One method involves drilling the factory hubs and pressing in lug studs. Ideally, a machine shop should do this, but you could. I don't know why you would, but you could. You also would need to re-drill the rotors to match or get some 5x114.3 rotors. The second method involves using parts from a Cadillac CTS, including the hubs and the brake rotors, or again, just re-drilling the factory rotors. This is a direct bolt-on option that could be easily reversible in the future if you are looking to sell your Corvette to someone who is more jean short inclined. We are not going to cover all the details of the swap. It is well documented online. There are a whole bunch of companies who also provide parts for doing this, or you can just run an adapter, although these cars are super high offset. Converting the lug pattern is kind of a drag, but guess what? How many Hondas, Mitsubishis, Subarus, Nissans, etc., also need similar conversions. So if you had an S chassis, you basically are going from 4-lug to 5-lug. There's also the possibility that your favorite wheels do come in 5x120.65, or that they can get custom drilled or re-drilled by a shop, meaning none of this is necessary. If you want CCWs, Forge Stars, ESRs, Heritage wheels, they all cater to Vette owners. Any built-to-order wheels, so that means, work, SSR, Heritage, 3-piece, come in any PCD you could ask for. Getting the factory lug pattern keeps things super simple, more reliable, and is good on resale to someone else who wants to buy these wheels for their Vette. This guide is going to include both 5x114 and 5x120.65 wheel options. If we don't specify, just assume that the wheels were modified to fit the vehicle. Suspension-wise, the double wishbone suspension on a C5 is probably a little bit different than what you are used to because it's basically a truck out back. It's got leaf springs. A simple way to lower your C5 is with lowering bolts. The factory bolts are adjustable and allow you to lower the Vette a little bit, but aftermarket ones give you quite a bit more drop. This would be comparable to essentially lowering springs on any other platform, but it is even cheaper, like $50. These will give you up to a 2-inch drop depending on the bolts that you purchase, while retaining the factory driving characteristics for the most part, although it does feel a little bit stiffer, a little bit more uncomfortable. Some people say the C5 rides like a tractor. In fact, it does. If you agree, coilovers may help with this. They are often called the best modification you can do for the C5, and there are a whole bunch of brands that make them that we carry on the site. Click the link down below to pick them up. If you go this route, definitely get the kind that replaces the leaf springs. The best two brands, in my opinion, are Silvers and BC Racing. They are popular options that do exactly this, and also they're based out of Florida and we're based out of Florida, so Florida boys unite. Just because you get coilovers does not mean you have to go lower. If you're using your car for any type of motorsport, be it autocross, drift, drag racing, whatever it might be, coils are a must-have to dial in suspension travel and performance. They also let you take your car a little bit lower, although if you want to go super low, consider the next suspension type. You know what I'm saying? Air suspension. Bags are for luxury, grocery-getting sedans, not sports cars, right? Well, that's what everyone thinks until they try driving a Vette on air. The combination of the transverse leaf springs, a low hanging air dam, and the overall geometry of these cars makes them scrape on, well, frankly, a leaf in the road. Air suspension is becoming a super popular option for guys who are stancing their Corvettes. Some popular brands are going to be AirTech and, of course, Airlift Performance. These are not cheap. Obviously, they're going to cost you 3 to 4 times what a set of coilovers will, but they will save you from destroying the undercarriage of your Vette and obviously the front air dam, which is expensive as well. If you want to go super low, this might be the best option for you. Now that we've gone over the basics of how to lower your Vette and what wheels will fit on it, let's take a look at what you are actually here for, the way wheels and tires are going to fit on your car. So we're starting off with narrow bodies. Fitment is the same for all body styles, coupe, convertible, and FRC. However, there is a narrow and a wide body option. The first Vette we're taking a look at is a narrow body, and it's on TSW Nürburgrings, 18x9 with a 50 offset up front, 19x10.5 with a 65 offset out back. These are wrapped up in Nitto Invo tires, a 265/35 and a 305/30. These are bottomed out on the factory lowering bolts, but there are no other suspension modifications needed. If you want to keep the factory double staggered setup, which looks pretty good in most cases, we recommend sizing up to an 1819 from the 1718, like the ones that this FRC is running. Because the offsets on Vettes are super high, the Fitment is not particularly aggressive. This is a pretty basic setup that will let you run a wider tire, have a little bit more flush wheel fitment, and just look generally good. This has got a 305/35 out back, which also lets you put the power down. This car is on factory suspension with the lowering bolts maxed out, so this should give you an idea of what you can do basically day one of buying your Vette. Even with tires this wide, there are no rubbing issues under cornering, load, whatever it might be. TSW is one of those wheel brands that offers 501 20.65 wheels, meaning that these will bolt right up to your C5 with no questions asked. However, they are not as cool as maybe what you're looking for. This next one is on ESR SR04s, 18x9.5 with a 35 offset all the way around, wrapped up in Nitto NT555 G2 tires in a 225/40 all the way around again. This one is a 5x1 14.3 swap. However, you can't always get these wheels drilled to 5x1 20.65. This one is on lowering bolts, and so for symmetry or for track duty or whatever it might be, a lot of C5s do run a square setup. The coupe shown here has the same wheel and tire specs all the way around. These wheels are considerably more aggressive due to the lower offset as compared to that first one that we saw. The rears fit pretty well. The fronts might give you a little bit of poke and some rubbing under load. If you're not into this, try something with a little bit higher offset. A 225/40 tire on a 9.5-inch wheel will give you a little bit of a stretch, and it is not really performance oriented. Something like a 245 or 255 will give you a square sidewall if this is not your style. These wheels are 5x1 14.3. They were early on from ESR. Later on, when ESR opened their whole machine shop, they started offering 5x1 20.65, although the sizing is more limited. If you want to learn a lot more about ESR wheels, we did a full video on them. I'm going to link it down in the description below. They went from making reps to making like actually pretty good wheels, so there you go. This next one is on SSR Professor TF1s, 19x9.5 with a 43 offset and a 19x10.5 with a 43 offset as well. Wrapped up in Falcon Azenis FK510 tires in a 295/30 19 out back and a 245/35 19 up front. This one is on the stock suspension on lowering bolts. So again, you guys are going to see this a lot. There's no real reason to step up to coilovers if you just want to look. This one is a C5Z, so it's a 19.9.5 in the front, 1910.5 in the back with big old tires. There's plenty of room for wheels with lots of back spacing on these vehicles. You can run a really, really wide inner, which is why we'll see 11s or even larger rears used on stock body cars, but they're going to run higher offsets. Now the offset on this one looks high, but it's actually perfect for a stock body C5. This car is on stock suspension with lowering bolts, no excess camber was needed, and there are no rubbing issues. It just looks and drives and performs great. SSR wheels are not cheap, but the plus side is that you can get them in the original 5x1 20.65 lug pattern as they are custom made to order. A lot of you guys are sleeping on SSR. We get a ton of orders for work. We get far fewer orders for SSR, but they make a really, really nice product. If you're looking at work, maybe look at SSRs too. Next one's on Kansai Astros, 19.9.5 with a 35 offset, 265/35 19 Yokohama Advent Apex tires. This one also has the 19.8.5 Astros up front, and they are wrapped up in a 235/35 19 tire, and this one is, of course, the first that we're looking at on air suspension. There are coilovers that will take you this low, but good luck actually driving your Vette if you slam it that much. If you want this look, you should definitely check out air suspension for the reasons that we discussed earlier on in the video. If you forgot what they are, go back, watch that section, and come back here, and then watch over here again. This one's on a 3P kit from Airlift Performance, which recently they started offering coilovers that can be upgraded to air suspension. So if you want to build your setup over time, that works really well. It does not look to be available for the C5 yet, but keep your eyes peeled for that again if you're looking to spend $1,000, spend $2,000 later, as opposed to $3,000 up front. If you're on the fence between coils and air, also, it'll let you decide if you want the lower performance, let's say, of air suspension. As far as fitment goes, similar to the last, it's just a little bit more narrow. You can still fit decently wide tires on these wheels. In this case, a 235/35 and a 265/35, which is not going to be as big, but should be more than enough for a stock power or slightly upgraded, intake, header, exhaust build. These wheels come in a lot of bolt patterns, but of course not the stock Corvette one. This one is running a 50120 with wobble nuts, but do note you could also get these in 501/14.3, or you can just specify that you need them drilled. Before getting air suspension, the C5 looked really good with just lowering bolts, but obviously with air, it looks super cool. Now the next one we're taking a look at, we're getting into the real JDM stuff now, is on Grandlight 57 DRs and an 18x9.5, 22 offset all the way around, wrapped up in Kenda KR20A 265/35 tires. This is going to be the most performance-oriented setup that we've seen so far with a low aggressive offset, and it is lowered again on Silver's coilovers, which are a great choice for this platform. 501/14.3 converted. It may have camber plates. We didn't have that information available. Graham lights and similar wheels like Working Motions look really, really good on Corvettes, but they are all 501/14.3. So is it worth converting? Is it worth getting them drilled? You be the judge. Once again, we see a square fitment, but this time with a lower offset and a larger tire. This is pretty darn aggressive, especially for the front. To make this not poke like crazy, you will definitely need some extra negative camber to make it happen. We don't know the exact alignment numbers on the C5 pictured, but as a fair guess, it probably has a couple degrees of negative camber front and rear. And so if you want to copy this look, do assume that you need to do that. This one's on Silver's coilovers and has no rubbing at this ride height, but will scrape on steep driveways or really anything else. So now we're going to get into the wide body C5s. In these guides, we don't normally get into aftermarket wide body kits for the simple reason that, one, there are a shitload of kits for any given chassis, and they are mostly garbage, and they don't all fit the same. So we can tell you one size, but it's not going to fit every car the same way. Plus, salvage title cars, wide body kits. And anyway, Corvette Creations flares are one thing. They had 2 inches at the rear, 1 inch at the front. There are enough people running these that we decided to include a few. Obviously, do not go on our website and buy the wheels that we tell you will fit the wide body if you have a narrow body car, because we're just going to go, well, why didn't you buy the wide body? So you can run pretty much as wide as you want for wheels and tires once you get that. Once you put the flares on, you want a 325 on a 12.5-inch wheel, go ahead. To make these look right, you will want to run a lower offset, which gives the option of more dish and more concavity. And really, honestly, if you're building kind of like a JDM style Corvette, you should probably buy these. If you pick another kit, your mileage may vary. A 2-inch flare is not always a 2-inch flare. If you're unfamiliar with Corvette body panels, you may be pleasantly surprised to learn that these kits are more or less bolt-on. You may have to drill some holes, but compared to like an S chassis, the process is very straightforward and there's not really any cutting or anything like that. Simply unbolt the fenders, unbolt the quarter panels, replace them with your new parts, and you are off to the races. This first one is on CCW Classics. It's an 18x10 with a 38 offset and an 18x12.5 with a 30 offset. My God, that's a big wheel. 265/35, 18 tires up front, 315/35 out back, Toyo Proxies, Viking coilovers, Carbon Creations rear fenders. If you like your C5 extra thick and juicy, you could have wide fenders only in the rear, and that's what this FRC is running. We already know about the front fitment, but how about the rear? Well, the final numbers are 18, 12.5, 30 with a 315/30 18 tire. CCW wheels go together with Vettes like peanut butter and jelly. Here's some insight you may not know about them. They mount the faces through the front rather than the rear, like other 3-piece wheels. This hides about 1 inch of the lip because they are pretty chunky faces. Funny enough, CCW wheels actually use truck forgings instead of standard car forgings. That's why they look the way they do. Lets you run lower offsets, which translates to a larger lip on paper. However, it's not actually larger in the real world compared to like a Workmeister. This one's got a 3.5 in the rear, looks really good. Next one, Onhan DSO6s, 19.5, 30 up front, 1911, 22 out back. Goodyear Eagle F1s, 275/35/19, Nitto NTO5s out back, 305/35/19. NTO5s are like a street-ish, performance-ish tire, so probably needs the grip. C6Z06 suspension, 501/14.3 converted. Carbon Creations rear flares. Woof, that's a mouthful. Here's what a coupe looks like with the Corvette Creations rear flares. Only the rears again. The Fitment is very similar to the last, but this one is running 19-inch wheels and a little bit narrower, but with a lower offset. This one has C6 Z06 suspension and has been 501/14.3 swapped to run these Oddhan wheels. The next one we're looking at is on Forgestar's C5 Vs. 19x10 with a 30 offset, 19x12 with a 50 offset with a little spacer, so it's an effective +40. Continental tires on these ones. The Extreme Contact DWS 06, which are a fantastic tire. All seasons, do whatever you want with them. They're a blast. 275/30 up front, 355/30/19 out back, Carbon Creations front and rear fenders, factory suspension with lowering bolts. If you are all about symmetry, you will want the front and the rear flares. This is another Corvette Creations kit, +1 in the front, +2 in the rear. This one's running a 355/30/19 tire. Do you need a 355? Well, are you making 1200 wheel? If not, no. But if you still want them, they're available in our tires section, but they're gonna cost you an arm and a leg, by the way. Out front, we see a 19x10 with a 30 offset. The fenders are only +1 in the front, but the big difference is you are able to run a deep concave or a wheel with a lip on these with that little bit of extra flair. So let's wrap this all up. Well, JDM styling doesn't just mean Japanese wheels. We showed brands like SSR, but we also showed brands that are pretty typical on Vettes like Forgestars and CCWs. Really, a C5 can look good with any style of wheel, but please do not buy chrome OEM replicas and put stock tires on it. It's just really boring. It's all about the wheel specs that you're running. To recap, 18s and 19s are by far the most common. You can go squared, you can go staggered, you can go double staggered. You can do pretty much whatever you want. The offset is really high on these cars, but you can run really low offsets if you're willing to do what you need to do to make it work. If you want aggressive fitment, try something a little bit lower, maybe a +30 or +25. You can go very wide on a C5, especially in the rear, but once you go wide, you have to raise that offset. Once you get that perfect fitment, we want to see it in our gallery. You can click the link down below. You can upload your vehicle. We will check it out, approve it, and then you'll see your car on our site. Bonus points if you're the first one to run Work Emotions. We didn't find any, but we'd reckon they'd look pretty sick on there. Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.